Welcome to Super Tuesday here at the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters. The top 16 entering the fray, facing the 16 players who've come through the early rounds. All the big names are here, and they're all under pressure because, as we've been saying all week, if they lose today, they get no ranking points. The world rankings after today alone could change in a big way. Judd Trump, of course, top of the pile at the moment. If he loses, he knows he's very unlikely to beat by the end of this event. Yize to get us underway. They have played twice before. It's 2-0 to Trump. They met in the semi-finals of the Wuhan Open last year. Trump won pretty comfortably. But of the 32 players here today, between them, they've won 242 ranking titles. So there's quality on whichever table you choose to look at, and we'll keep you across, of course, all the scores. Judd Trump has played 2 tournaments this season. He won the first in Shanghai. He was runner-up in the second at the Xi'an Grand Prix as the first long red flies in.
Well, that's not a bad way to kickstart your campaign here in Saudi Arabia. What an opening red from Judd Trump. It was an anxious break-off from Yize as he saw the red travel up towards the balk area, but there was no issues for Judd. Just slaps in the long one.
Six.
Now, as he just got there, he was walking sort of rather slowly round it as if he didn't want to look. It would seem not. And this is the thing, of course, if the top 16 haven't played yet in this arena, all these players, okay, they may not have played on this particular table, but they've had matches. Yize beat Steve Maguire last night, 5-4. Oh, what a pot that is to recover. My goodness.
Wow. That is ridiculous. Look at that queuing over the pack as well. What a pot that is. He's got the chance now, should he wish, to get straight into this pack of reds. Just miss the pink left side. Well, he's chosen to play for the loose one. He had the perfect angle there to get into that little corridor just past the pink.
9.
Well, it's a big day, so I'm going to unleash a big stat. Now, obviously, we've had matches of various different lengths on tour. Best of 9 frame matches in ranking events, okay? Judd Trump has not lost one, not lost a best of 9 in a ranking event since December 2022. He's won his last 28. The last man to beat him, Luca Purcell, at the English Open in December 2022 in this length.
That pretty much tells you everything you need to know. We mentioned briefly at the top of the show about these short sprint best of 9 matches, but for me, the best players will always rise to the top regardless of how short or long the game is.
Thank you.
You try and make a case for players to potentially cause an upset, but it's so hard to look past the best players in the world. They're the best for a reason.
Yeah, and also Trump coming in has got no concerns about his game, has he? I mean, as I say, 2 tournaments in, 2 finals, 1 trophy, off the back of last season winning 5 ranking titles, top of the rankings.
Thank you. 17.
Well, this time he's unable to pop the recovery ball.
Judd Trump 17.
So first chance to have a look at Yize. As you say, he's come through a couple of matches already to get to this stage. A couple of good wins as well. 4-0 against Anthony Kowalski. And then last night downing Stephen Maguire.
One.
Yeah, I remember Alan McManus played him when Yize, I think he was actually a wild card in one of the Chinese events, and he came off and said, yeah, he's a proper player. You know, Alan can see that, of course, in a player, if they just got the sort of tools, and he felt he did. He tries to get into the Reds here. 43 in the world. As I say, that semi-final in Wuhan last season, his best run so far. He's been at the Crucible as well. Neil Robertson actually, he beat him in 2023, made 2 1-4-6s towards the end of that match, Neil Robertson. So it was a bit of a baptism of fire, but he's another of these players from China who certainly got potential and can be dangerous. No, it never looked in that, did it?
Oh, you see, 5.
The event has felt massive from the moment we stepped foot in this venue, but last night there was just a different sort of feel in the air. I almost got a little bit giddy when I was sat in the players' lounge watching all these big stars coming through, doing all the media duties, press conferences. It really feels like this event is just about to get started.
Yes, and I think they sense that as well. And there's a definite sort of vibe about the place as Trump fails to land on the pink there.
Blue ball.
This is a nervy day, I think, for them. Oh, well, that was a nervy one. He missed the blue.
1 Judd Trump, 5 Yize.
But yeah, it's this points situation. If you win, you guarantee 30,000. If you lose, you get nothing. So it's a massive disparity, very much like the World Championship. But the difference is here, of course, your opponent has been playing in this venue.
Well, how well has he hit that? He's overscrewed that by 3 feet at least. Caught it sweet.
That's a little unlucky. That red just moving away from the pocket. It looked like he would be on it to the left corner.
4.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bruising experience when he played Trump in Wuhan, but it was his first semi-final, so there was a lot of pressure on it. Obviously, this is last 32.
Yeah, not to mention, Judd Trump basically just didn't miss all season last year. Made a couple of centuries in that break, in that match, when he beat Yize in that semi-final. I don't think anyone wanted to play Trump last year.
If Trump were to win the tournament, his prize money this season would be 786,000 in the first week of September.
Pretty much have the rest of the year off. I don't think he will.
No, well, exactly. I mean, he's in that mindset, isn't he? That he just wants to win everything, and it's a great way to be, to have that determination. He says he really enjoys practicing, never has a day off. He's very dedicated to what he's doing. He actually said in Xi'an, didn't he? He was asked, you know, why is he being so successful, leaving a few players behind? He says, I want it more than them. Well, again, Yize might consider himself a little unfortunate here. He can't get past the black for this red, because he certainly could have been left in here.
Well, he probably should have been left in, because Trump, that was a little bit wayward. Can he get through to this red? Yeah, good shot. And now this is a good chance for Yize.
1.
Good early chance to get a foothold in this match. He'll know from experience just how important it's going to be today to get a good start against Judd Trump.
4. Five.
The winner of the match will play one of the jacks, either Jack Jones or Jack Lazowski.
Ten. 11. 16. 17.
'Turns 21 next month, does Yize. The potential was there from a young age. At 14, he won the World Under 21 Championship. So, big international junior event. Just 14 he was when he won that.
24.
You can just see how well he strikes the ball, Yize. When he gets on a run, it can be very hard to stop. I've seen him practice at Dings Academy in Sheffield quite often and just bashes up everyone when he's practicing in there. Very talented young
30.
player.
$31.
So this red and a colour will leave Judd Trump needing snookers, although he'd like to keep Judd sat in his chair. So we're looking for an angle of a colour to lay up onto that red on the top cushion. Oh, and he's missed the red. Wow. Where has that come from?
Yize, 36.
He smiles as he leaves the table, but I'm sure his heart will have just sunk. So from nowhere, Judd with a chance. Not an easy chance.
I can tell you Neil Robertson has opened up with a century in that heavyweight contest on table 3 against Mark Selby. Still going on 103, but 1-0 to the Aussie. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many seeds survive. I thought you all went a little low actually on your numbers in the studio. It could be higher than that. I don't know. We'll see. Players these days are pretty evenly matched. On any given day, a player down the rankings can certainly beat a top player. Jack Lazowski's won the first frame against Jack Jones on table 7. Lepe Fan, the only player to reach this stage from round 1. And Jimmy Robertson and Ben Wollaston, the two who've done so from round 2. Remember, this is the 5th round, effectively, the last 32.
Foul and a miss. 4. Yize. The back, okay.
It's going to go back. John Pellew, the referee in charge. Obviously, if he leaves a red on, it's frame over. That's all Yize will need. So this is dangerous, looking to just flick off the red. And because of that, he's going to come close to missing it, which he's now done. This is going to be a free ball.
And a miss. 4. Yize. Free ball.
Now he's 40 points behind Judd Trump. 43 remaining. Yize just taking his time here to come to a decision. Does he have it back and one more penalty point? Judd will need snookers. Or does he try and push a colour safer? I think going for the pot on the yellow is too risky.
Put it back.
Well, it's more than risky, it's not even an option. So choosing to have it back.
Well, actually, he's going to get him to play from there, which is interesting. But either way, he's got to hit a red. Well, that last kiss on the brown for Trump was golden, my word.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that he elected for Judd to play from where the cue ball was, because the shot that Judd had previous was very tough to judge off the side cushion, to glance off the red to get back to baulk. You felt he was always just going to have a little bit of a tear up on that shot. Judd just try and get something moving, distance between. Always got a chance of getting away with it.
Well, he's a bit fortunate. That white was very close to going in, and look where the reds would have been. That could easily have been frame over in Trump's favour. Dramatic start here. Gary Wilson's won the first frame against Dave Gilbert. Elliot Slesser, the first against Ali Carter. Zhao Gudong, the first against Mark Allen. Of course, Trump's just replaced him at the head of the rankings, albeit they're tied on points. But Trump did better in the last event, getting to the final of the Jiang Grand Prix.
Well, he's got the possibility here with Yize to take this red onto the yellow pocket. Cue ball will be heading back down towards the black. And now Judd has possibly got the same shot, but to the green pocket. With that cue ball heading towards the black, if this goes in, it could be a chance.
Well, what a pot from Yize. So snooker's required now. Now this would have felt great. Sort of Judd Trump shot, really. 41 the difference. So without the colour, it's 2 snookers.
Green ball.
Oh, he's hit that so well. You could see down the camera line how well he cued it. That yellow pocket might need re-leathering after that, he hit it so hard.
Easy. 1.
Yeah, so 2 snookers required by Trump here. Can he put this away? Yes, he can. Excellent. So good start this from Yize. It's not only for the seeds, it's not only about the ranking point situation in round 1. They just want to do well in this tournament. You don't want to be going home in what for you is the first round, but if Yize keeps knocking those in, Judd Trump's going to have his work cut out. What a great pot again this is.
He's a tremendous potter, isn't he? There's just no fear in his game whatsoever.
8.
I've seen him in other matches just go for balls, and if they don't go in, it can make him look silly, but when they do go in, my goodness me, he knows how to pot a snooker ball.
So first blood to China's Yize. It's best of 9 to reach the last 16 of the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters here in Riyadh. And he leads Judd Trump 1-0. Judd Trump 1-0 down here to Yize. Sean Murphy's actually one of those 7. He's won the first against Yize on table 4.
Well, again, what a pot that is from Yize. Tight under the baulk cushion almost to float this red in. What a pot. He's in good stroke this morning. You can just tell he fancies the job.
Well, there's about 4 balls he's potted, long balls, that, you know, could be sort of shot of the week already. I mean, it's just that last red was struck so well, so purely. Scott Donaldson has won the first against Barry Hawkins, so all the matches now well underway.
This is a pretty good chance. There's 5 reds that he can focus on for the time being. Red just at the back of the pack as well, that in a moment's time he could land himself low on it, bring more reds into play. I really like the style of Yize. Just how he goes about things. He's very attacking. He's very fluent when he gets in.
17.
plays the game, in my opinion, how it should be played.
Yeah, and he's very much taking the game to Trump. He's not in any way intimidated here.
He's obviously a very confident character as well. I remember when he burst onto the scene back in 2021 when he got his tour card. He had a plethora of hairdos, didn't he? Can you remember? He had a big mullet at one point, he had red hair at one stage, then he shaved his head. Just shows he's a bit of a character.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about, the top players here, but if a player such as Yize from the mid-ranks were to win this tournament, it will be completely transformative for his professional career, of course, for his finances as well. It will propel him in 1 week into the big leagues. Be in all the tournaments you want to be in, top 16, all the rest of it.
32.
So that's the carrot that's dangling away in the background.
Other than that one semi-final in Wuhan last year, he failed to make it past the round of 32 in any other event. Already at this round here today, he's a much better player than that. That semi-final almost salvaged his season, really.
What you see, 38.
No, so very promising opening has ended on 38. Did pretty well actually. Didn't have much angle on that blue. Managed to force the cue ball round, but break just unravelled slightly. Judd Trump took part in the official press conference last night with Ronnie O'Sullivan, and obviously he's here as world number one. Ronnie, the greatest of all time, and obviously both want to do well in the tournament. So it's a big day. We keep saying it, but it's true. There is a lot of pressure on these top players coming in the top 16. They'll have been watching the tournament, waiting to get started. That day has arrived.
And there's such a big build-up for the event. A lot of excitement coming into it, as you say. But now the reality of it is that one of these players that you will see today in action come Saturday will be walking away with £500,000 in prize money. That's a good pot from Judd, although he would have liked without the cannon to the loose red. He's on nothing now. Well, can he clip this black thin? It's ultra thin. Oh, that's very good. Very good.
Yeah, so now a chance to just get involved in this match. He's already this season made 12 centuries, 10 in Shanghai, and then 2 in Xi'an, where conditions were a bit more challenging. Remember, there is a prize this season for the first player to make 100 in the season. They'll get 100,000. That sounds like it's right up Judd Trump's street. He's also closing in, of course, on 1,000 for his career, 992. John Higgins tonight comes in on 998.
I think as well, when you look at that 100,000 for 100 centuries, you could make a case for a few players, but in reality, I think Judd is really the only person that could threaten that. A lot of people would maybe say Ronnie, but will he enter all the tournaments? Will he enter enough to make that amount of centuries? You know full well that Judd Trump will.
15.
Well, it'll be get interesting if he sort of gets into the 90s towards the end of the season. Because they always say, don't they, you know, the frame's the most important thing, you don't take risks. Well, that may change, possibly.
Yeah, and I think Noppon Sankam will be in a similar situation in the Triple Crown events for the rest of the year. You know, he's one maximum break away from 147,000 bonus. Well, that's a big miss from Judd Trump. He didn't look all that comfortable at the mini butt on the end of the queue. It was a real big stretch. And in the end, he didn't get too close to the red. So Yize already with an advantage in this frame. He's got the balls at his mercy. Can he take this chance and take a 2-0 lead? A possible big upset on the cards here this morning. This afternoon, should I say.
Yeah, already in front in the frame, having made that 38 earlier.
6.
He needs to show Trump that he will punish any sort of error. Mark Allen, meantime, in big trouble. He's about to go 2-0 down to Zhao Guodong on table 2. And Ali Carter, another member of the top 16, is 2-0 down to Elliot Slesser on table 5.
$14. $15.
Yeah, nicely controlled. It was difficult from the previous black to get high up on them reds. Didn't have much angle. Manufactured one, and he's played a really nice positional shot there. Delicate little cannon to the red and pink. And where those two reds have gone on the right side of the table, he'll be happy to just leave them alone there. A little bit of insurance. They're safe now. Just going to work off these two beyond the blue. It's not necessarily panic stations yet for Judd Trump, but he'll have broken down this match
22.
to the first 4 frames of this little mini session. Best of 9, first to 5. Interval after 4. But at 2-0 down, he'll be thinking he has to at least win one of the next 2 frames.
27.
Yeah, I'm sure he was looking to dominate from the off. You fancy if Trump goes 2-0 up, you know, the match is going to go his way. But as it is, as you say, he's having to dig in now and try and get something out of this before the interval. And Wu Yize
28.
has looked very confident. This blue to get to the snooker's required stage. So as it stands right now, and it is very early, but right now 6 of the top 16 seeds from the 8 matches are trailing. Sean Murphy and Gary Wilson are the 2 in front. I had to think about that then. Neil Robertson, you just always assumes in the top 16 because he's not. He's Mark Selby in that one. He looks like he's about to level up there at one each.
Just shows you the strength and depth on the tour, doesn't it? I'm the same looking at the scores as they're rolling in. Can't remember where anyone's ranked. They're all so good you could make a case for them all. But this has been a brilliant start from Yize. It was exactly what he wanted when he was thinking about this match last night, probably coming into it today. He'd have dreamed of the perfect start, and he's 2-0 up on Judd Trump. And now it's his task to try and get at least one of the next 2 frames, give himself an advantage, possibly a massive advantage going in to the mid-session interval.
Yeah, he's looking confident, and he's punishing Judd Trump's mistakes. Great start here in Riyadh for Yize. He leads the world number 1, 2-0. It's very early days. It's 2-0 here. But if there are a lot of shocks today, you might look for reasons, and maybe one of them would be, and we've seen it in the walk-ons actually, it's just one example, it's true in the players' room as well. All the players have been treated the same here. You know, the lower-rank players have been here since day one. They're part of the event. They haven't been in some leisure centre somewhere qualifying. They're all part of the same tournament, and they've had a chance to get used to the conditions over the last few days. Anyway, as I say, it's early days yet, but Trump needs to get going soon.
Yeah, quite often at these massive events, you almost see the top 16 players, the elite players on the tour, almost having like a special treatment kind of thing, but it's not been the case this week. Everyone has been here, as Dave said, and the hospitality and how we've all been looked after has been impeccable. Everyone coming into this round probably feels like a big player themselves because of how they've been treated, and that in itself can just give you a little bit of confidence. Judd has made a couple of mistakes so far in the opening 2 frames. He'd like to try and erase them as quickly as possible. Try and get his tournament back on track.
4.
Yeah, and we know that the form's in there. I mean, you look at the great run he had last year. It started at the English Open, didn't it, when he dug in against Higgins. John Higgins 5-2 down in the semis. He was 7-3 down to Zhang Anda, won the match 9-7, went to Wuhan, beat Yize along the way, won that tournament. That was the next week, and then there was a week's break. He won in Northern Ireland, so an incredible spell. Won 2 more titles after that.
12.
And already this season winning his first in Shanghai, runner-up in Xi'an. So that relentless determination to just win matches is there. And we'll see it here for sure. But he's going to have to impose himself a little now. And he's got himself in with a good long red.
19.
Century for Yuan Sijun to level up with Sean Murphy on table 4, 1 each. Dave Gilbert's going to be 1 each with Gary Wilson.
So he's got the 1 red loose to the back right of the pack that will pass to left corner. And he does have the angle here, should he wish to go into them. Just having a little look. Can he play into them in such a way that it will leave himself a red to right corner? Seemed unlikely. He caught the red that I first pointed out, the one that he could have potentially laid up on into the left corner. In catching that red, it seemed unlikely that he was going to do much damage to the pack. So can he cut this red back in? No.
Judd Trump 27.
Yeah, so again, a promising start comes to not very much.
Well, he's having a little look at the 2 reds directly beneath the pink. There's a possible plant to left corner. don't think he can access them directly, but he has a loose red to potentially play onto them. There you see, they're not too far away. Possible 3-ball plan as well right at the back. I think the 2 are probably the more likely. You can see he's looking to plant that single red onto them. This is very risky if he's going to take this on. Not just because of the distance between them, but getting the cue ball out of danger as well. Oh, stop it. What a pot that is. And look at how he's played it. He's fully committed to it. He was doing damage. That single shot right there tells you exactly how you need to... everything you need to know about Yize, just how confident he is to take that on full-blooded against Judd Trump on table 1.
Yize, 1.
It's a statement, isn't it? I'm not bothered about you. I'm bothered about myself. I can play as well. Just to say, Dave Gilbert has just made his 400th career century, a break of 103 against Gary Wilson. So he's the 18th player to have made 400 in competition. He's playing some seriously good stuff, Gilbert, this season. He looks really good. Been working on his fitness. He's in a good place off the table. He's got his club, swaddling coat. All is well with the... well, they call him the angry farmer. He's not very angry at the moment. Well done to him. That's a little milestone. 400 career centuries.
He's the happy farmer. So that outrageous plan from Yize, okay, it only amounted to 1 point, but what it did do is gain him control of the table for the time being. And another mistake from Judd Trump. He was in big trouble there.
Well, there's the plant again. Get a load of this.
I mean, they weren't even that dead set, really. They were slightly offset. He had to turn it over a fraction from the loose red. It was a fantastic shot. Shot of the match. Because it's gained him this chance now. I mean, it's not just the fact that he's even seen that shot. It's the audacity to play it. Things you love to see.
Yeah, Judd is being sort of out-trumped, isn't he, at the moment? All the glamour stuff, all the Hollywood stuff is coming from his opponent. Trump was in, though, wasn't he? Straight away had the long red, broke down. And must be fearful now of going 3-0 down. But he'll be also focused because he knows one slip up, it can all turn. He's got to be ready if Yize does break down. Scott Donaldson about to go 2-0 up on Barry Hawkins. So as it stands, none of the top 16 are winning. There's 3 matches at 1 each. Very early yet, but the players who've come through the previous rounds are going well so far.
23.
I don't suppose you know the answer to this question, Dave. What's the record at the World Championships for the amount of seeded players that didn't win that opening game?
Yeah, it's either 8 or 9. I think it's 9. I don't have my Crucible almanac with me. I didn't pack it for the trip.
So yeah, as you say, 8 players in the top 16 currently aren't winning.
30.
There could well be some big upsets on the cards today. And you can look at it 2 ways. You know, the top 16 players coming into the event, they're the stars of the tour, if you like, but this could change somebody's life this week. These other players taking on these top 16. If one of those were to win this event, well, how exciting is that?
$36. $37.
Still a couple of reds near cushions here, so the work really is about to begin in terms of winning the frame.
He might have played on a couple of reds there, played into an area where he had a chance of landing on that red down the cushion. Not quite got there. Well, he played it anyway. It was quite thin.
45.
Very tough pot. Had to fully commit to it. And it's straight in the middle of the pocket. So we'll need one of the reds that's currently safe. They're both in pretty good positions to try and lift from the cushion.
52.
He can get himself low on the black from this red. Give himself the nice angle to just run across and try and promote one of the reds off the side cush.
$53.
Possibly has come up a little straight on this black, so does have the option of a double. Well, he's took the chance to screw into it, and it's not quite paid off, and now he doesn't have the option to play the double.
60. Yize 60.
Last shot Yize played, he could have left the red on, but Trump's got him now snookered, so this is a vital little stage actually of this match, isn't it? Trump's just trying to get a foothold, hoping it will come from this snooker. Well, he's managed to go around the back of the red.
Foul and a
Be
miss.
playing it again unless Trump can get through to this. Which I think, well, he's having a look. No, he's going back. Not quite.
Check, please. Little bit more. Okay, good. Yes, Judd. Again.
Yeah, he's got separation, so he'll be delighted.
Very similar to the first frame, last two reds, nothing safe. 30 points adrift, Judd Trump. He's looking at clipping this red thin into the left middle pocket. Cue ball will be travelling just right side of the brown, back down this end of the table. He's just a little concerned that if he catches it too thin, he may career into the brown, which would be a disaster. Well, he's okay. He's just about got away with it there. Did catch it too thin. But he has left the red on for Judd Trump to the yellow pocket. Both reds.
Yeah, is this match maybe about to turn with one good pot? That's what Trump needs to find here. Everything's on then.
What?
Yeah, and that's a cracker. And that was the exact thing that Yize was worried about. He possibly put too much emphasis on the pot to middle. Should have maybe give his attention more to the cue ball, but goodness me, what a miss from Judd Trump. Well, that was completely out of nowhere after the great long red he's just knocked in to miss a routine black and with it the frame.
What?
Well, how many of those will he miss all season? Black off the spot, overcut it. Yize probably can't believe his luck, but he is now in a very strong position. He's going to be 3-0 up. It's only first to 5. Judd Trump in big trouble. He's surely got to win the last before the interval.
4.
Big upset brewing here in Riyadh this afternoon.
This really is game on. The world number one is rattled. Yize with a chance for a massive scalp.
Yeah, Judd Trump's latest reign as world number one may only have lasted a couple of weeks.
13.
If he were to lose today, surely someone else would go past him.
18.
So, real drama here. Great red, wasn't it, as well, to the yellow pocket, then overcut the black off its spot. And Yize delighted
24.
to just step in and mop up. That's what he's done. Yize on top thoroughly here, bossing this match. Judd Trump with all sorts of problems because he trails 3-0. Yize returning to the arena. Big fourth frame this.
And that's an understatement. This is a massive fourth frame for Judd Trump.
Thank you. 4th frame.
He has to win this frame. It's as simple as that. Because if Yize goes 4-0 up at the interval, you can't see him not getting at least one chance post-interval to win the match. Judd Trump has made a number of mistakes, and a number of uncharacteristic mistakes so far. That black, though, well, he won't miss an easier ball all season.
Scott Donaldson, I say 3-0 over Hawkins. He's had a century there, Scott, so playing some great stuff. Bit Ryan Day last night. Now, Yize lining this long one up. He's knocked a lot of long balls in already. But not that one. Had 2 goes at going in, actually. Now, Judd Trump presented with an opening. What can he make from it?
One.
Oh, he was up so quick. I think he thought he'd missed that, Judd. It's wiped its feet off the near jaw. Just wriggled in. Just has to make this chance count, Judd, or at least score enough and then take full control of the table.
9. $16. 17.
Those 2 heads just directly above the black are causing slight problems for the time being. He'd like to finish nice on the black in such a way that he can play a little cannon to the left of the reds
24.
to hold for the one on the right.
$25. $31.
So just quite happy for that pink to go beneath the pack. That just allows
32.
a little easier access to the big cluster. He's got the one red just next to the blue that is kind of just in the way as well. He'd like to try and get rid of that, but he does have the angle on this brown if he wants to go into the pack.
Judd Trump, 32.
Well, Judd Trump has not turned up so far today. Another shot doing absolutely nothing with the cue ball. He's had one eye on making sure he finishes on this red. You can see that it was quite tight, but he's missed the brown by a mile again.
1.
This pack isn't nice to go into, really. Looks as if he's going to make contact to the reds above the black. He may just push them both out of the way and not be on one. That's why I chose to go into them with pace, using the 2 reds as the balls to push into the pack. He's played it pretty well considering. But he's not nice on his next red. He's got this red to middle. And it's a horrible little one. If he's trying to come back for black as well, there's hardly any pocket opening there. You can see, look at that angle. Just catching that near jaw, it was never going to go in.
Yeah, this is what Trump needs as well. He needs some help at the moment. He needs his opponent to miss, and he has done. So not a lot of damage done from his own miss brown.
What?
If he can just get himself on the scoreboard, there's something to build on. I'm sure his brother Jack will have things to say in the interval as well. If anything, just to motivate him coming back for the second half.
Five.
Cue ball ran a bit. I think he is on a red though. Well, he was, but he hasn't potted it.
Judd, five.
His reaction says it all, Judd Trump's. What is going on? He can scarcely believe the performance that he's put in so far today. Confusion, frustration, desperation. The emotions that Judd Trump will be currently experiencing. Well, the world number one is going to have to show us all his qualities if he's going to turn this one around.
Eight.
Well, he's been very impressive with Yize. He's missed the odd ball, but he's really taken the game to Trump right from the off. He's gone for his shots. He's looked positive. Trump
15.
has missed, I think, more balls in this match than he has all season. Time is running out for him in a big way. It's only first to 5. He could be 4-0 down at the interval here.
22. Twenty-three.
He might try and promote one of the reds from the red here. Leave himself the little angle. He's got the angle on this red to push that red off the cushion.
29.
But he'll be conscious of the contact he gets to it, because he doesn't want to hit it too full and leave his cue ball tight to the cushion. See, the points are tied. He needs both the safe reds. That's why he chose to bring it off, and he's played it very nice, and he can bring the other one off as well here if he wishes to. He's got perfect angle on this pink. If he gets a full enough contact on it, he'll be on the red to right corner beneath the pink as well. Brilliant shot. That pink was just creeping towards that jaw, but he's played it well, and now he's got the balls at his mercy. Within 2 shots there, he's just unlocked this frame.
Well, there's another top 16 player in big trouble. Ali Carter's 4-0 down to Elliot Slesser. The other match to go to the interval, Dave Gilbert and Gary Wilson 2-2. Neil Robertson, though, is going to be 3-1 up on Mark Selby. The top 16 seeds so far are in big trouble. There's only Sean Murphy winning 2-1. But the biggest story of all is here on table one. Judd Trump, the world number one, who's been in the finals of both events so far this season.
44.
Close to going 4-0 down. He's just slightly overrun here. Still on this red though, and not much more to do. So big trouble for that man. He's been looking forward to this tournament for a long time, but his stay in Riyadh might be a short one.
50.
This needs to slow up. He's just okay. He's on the yellow, and the yellow is what he needs to lead Judd Trump 4-0. What a story. And what a talent. Wu Yize making a real name for himself here in Saudi Arabia.
57. Thank you. 60. 64.
As I say, right from the start of the match, he went for his shots. He didn't show any sign of being intimidated by Judd Trump. Quite the opposite, relishing playing him here, knowing it's a big match for the seeded player. But it's also a big match for him in a big tournament, and he has played by far the better snooker. This pink might be in yet. It's not, but the frame is his. So Wu Yize firmly on top, and Judd Trump in deep trouble as the players head for the interval. Wu Yize one away from a big upset. He leads the world number one 4-0.
Welcome back to Riyadh for the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters, and what you don't see in that picture there is the score line at the mid-session interval. In fact, you do see it in micro small font. It is 4. Can you Adam and Eve it to Wu Yize and Judd Trump 0? Now, in theory, on paper, Ken, not many people would have called that. But what, in fact, first of all, what's happening?
Well, what's happening is Wu Yize got off to a really good start, put a little bit of pressure under the current world number one, Judd Trump. And, you know, he's missed a few important balls. He missed the black off the spot, straightforward black to get on the last red. It cost him the third frame. He's missed an easy brown in that last frame as well, and an easy red into the corner pocket. And Wu Yize just stepped in and cleared up, and he's played really, really well. And he's worth his 4-0, believe it or not.
Well said. And in terms of Judd Trump, we sometimes talk about the top 16. You don't know which one's going to turn up. Usually, the only Judd Trump that turns up is a guy who plays you off the table. He did that in China, got to the final. Not the case here.
No, and you know we're so used to seeing Judd Trump winning and like turning up to these big events, and you can pretty much guarantee almost that he's going to go deep. It's been far from the case so far today. He's looked a little out of sorts for me. That the black that Ken just mentioned a minute ago. You know, usually we're so used to seeing Judd notice them big moments in matches and just going in for the kill. And the brown as well, you know, he's missed a red in the last frame and he's shown a little bit of emotion. He just doesn't look like himself today.
I know if Stephen Hendry was watching that, he'd have been disgusted with missing a black off this spot. It's one of the Hendry things.
Yeah, yeah.
But in terms of Wu, 20 years of age, to be doing that on the TV table against one of the greatest players ever, really impressive.
It's very impressive. Listen, this young Wu Yize, he is one of the up-and-coming stars of the future. There's no doubt about that. And I think he's going to have a big, big season. Whatever happens in this match, you know, he's been shown a lot of promise the last couple of seasons. He's taken a few good scalps as well. And he's got the full package, not only the talent, but he's got great bottle, he's got great temperament. And, I think he's going to go really far, not only, you know, this season, but, you know, for seasons to come as well. He's a top player.
Well, we were watching that at the back of this room, and Phil Yates actually said that Alan McManus called the talent of Yize a few seasons ago, and boy, was that a shout. But there's a number.
Judd Trump's highest break so far is just 32. That is going to have to improve. Everything's going to have to improve. He's going to have to cut out the unforced errors. You could certainly see Judd Trump rolling off frames one after another, but Wu Yize with every reason to believe he can convert this 4-0 lead into victory and a place in the last 16 of the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters. As it stands right now, the only top 16 seed of the 8 matches in front is Sean Murphy, 3-1 on Yuan Si-jun. All the others are either trailing or, in Gary Wilson's case, 2-2.
I think this would probably be up there with one of the best comebacks Judd will have ever made in his career if he's to turn this one around. Not just because of, well, not because he can't win the next 5 frames. Of course he can. We've seen him do it so many times down the years. He's very able to reel off frames with quick one visits, but the manner of which he's played so far this afternoon, he's been given a number of chances that he's just not been able to take. He's looked pretty flat, in my opinion. And that was the start he did not want.
Well, it's a big, big shot, that, and he got nowhere near the pot. So, first chance to get it won for Wu Yize. Well, not to be, so Trump may well have sat down thinking he'd played his last shot. Gets a much easier start it.
One.
Not the easiest of
6.
chances just yet. Only got the blue to work off for the time being.
7.
Just weighing up his options as... Is there any value in going into the pack just gently trying to bring the pink into play? No, he chose against it. And he's lost the cue ball.
12. $13.
With a little nudge on the from black to blue, he's left himself on this blue. But of course the black has gone now down into the bulk end.
18. 19.
Again, still not
24.
able to really do heavy damage quickly from going up to blue every time. I suppose the only good thing is that he has got plenty of reds available.
25.
And he's overdone that one for middle pocket. He's on it to the corner.
$30. $31.
Now taking the chance to get into them, and it's worked out fine. He's on this red to right middle, one to right corner as well.
36.
And now he has got the pink to play for. He is going to need help from his opponent, Judd Trump, if he's going to turn this one around. It seems very unlikely, but as long as you're at the table, you've always got a chance. But I think the interesting thing, and something we should all consider, is the fact that Yize has played 2 matches already in this venue. It's not like he's coming in playing Judd Trump, a top 16 player, and he's got a 4-0 lead on table 1. I don't think he'll get anxious to get over the winning line, because he'll probably feel really comfortable because he's been here for so long already.
$44.
Well, Gary Wilson, who is the seed in that match, has gone 3-2 in front. There's a lot of big breaks flying in there. Gilbert's had a couple of centuries. Wilson looks like he's about to make one. 3-2 it'll be to Gary.
49.
He didn't actually make the century, 92 from Wilson, but he is in front there. But Trump trying to make enough here to get on the scoreboard.
$56.
But he's missed that. 56 to lead, 75 on.
Judd Trump, 56.
Well, Yize are reluctant to play safe up into the balk area because of that red near the middle pocket, so he's just going to be nestling up to this top cushion. He can play off that red near the middle, but he needs to try and control it in and out of balk. Well, he's done very well considering, but he has left the red as a shot for Yize to attempt now. 56 points behind in this frame. The 2 reds on the top cushion out of commission for the time being, but one good pot here could set him on his way. Yeah, another good strike, and look at how he's played it. Round to try and get that black right down this business end again, back on its own spot where he can do some heavy scoring. Yeah, that's okay. So one good shot now.
8.
The red just beneath the pink. Get nicely on the black, try and take 2 reds, 2 blacks again.
Nine.
And then it will be about the 2 reds. Well, he's got the absolute perfect angle on this black now if he wishes to try and dislodge them. Just looking at the cannon that is required to push him into play. Can he play it in such a way that he may land on one of the other reds as well? Possibly not. So if he decides to play this cannon now, it's pretty much all or nothing. It has to go right, which is why he's chosen against it. I think that was the wise decision because he can guarantee he takes these 2 reds with 2 colours, just gets a few more points on the board before playing that cannon. And at least if it does go wrong, he's still in control.
Well, it's going to be the key moment now, for sure. It's going to decide whether this match ends here or whether there's a lifeline for Trump.
$23. 24.
Well, that was a poor shot from Yize. He's trying to come across the face of the black, leave himself a high angle, pretty much the same angle he had a few moments ago. And now even if he does pop the pink, he'd only be potting it for the points. 32 points behind. It may be wise to just play a safety shot, forget the points. Just make sure you don't push anything safe.
Yellow ball. Easy. 24.
So Trump leads by 32, but now this is the real crux of this frame.
If you can just push this red across, get the white right up into board using the pink as the snookering ball here. May have just left a thin edge for Judd. So, chance for Yize. Red to right corner. Stun across the face of the pink for the black to the same pocket. Well, he's gone to top it in and oh, he was so close. Well, he couldn't have got any closer than that.
That was the match right there, wasn't it? If that goes in, he surely wins, but it didn't. So Judd Trump hanging on. 32 in front. Not much more to do here to win his first frame and at least avoid a whitewash. But he's had to rely there on a miss from his opponent. If he's going to turn this round, he's going to have to find that incredible form that we've seen from him, certainly in the last year.
8.
And we've seen pretty much in a sustained spell for the last decade. It's 40 in front here, 35 on, 2 snookers needed. And that red's in, so
9.
he's got his first frame. Yize was so close to that penultimate red. Judd Trump can win 5 frames in a row against anyone, but
15.
it's the performance that needs to improve if that's going to happen, you feel. But he's not out of this yet. Judd Trump staves off the whitewash here in Riyadh.
And the 3.
And for now, he's still in the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters. Yize's advantage is reduced to 4-1. The others all trailing, as is Judd Trump. But here we go, frame 6. Really, 2 things need to happen. Trump needs to improve. You made that 56 in the last, that's still his highest break. He also needs Yize to start making mistakes, maybe feel the pressure. He had some chance. He got very close, didn't he, to that red in the last frame. That could have been it.
And he's going to be getting very close to this red beneath the black if he chooses to take this red onto left corner. He'd love to avoid it. Yeah, and he couldn't. Now, what's the damage? Oh, he'll take that.
Touching ball.
Bill Robertson, who we were watching there briefly, he's made 2 centuries actually, 115 and 114. So he's scoring well. But the Dave Gilbert-Gary Wilson match, Gilbert's had 103 and 137. Gary Wilson's had 73, 92. He's currently on a 91, so might make a century there. So an avalanche of scoring.
So Judd gearing up for this red to right corner. Be pulling the cue ball back for blue or bought colour. Oh, and he struck it so well. That's better from Judd. Much better. We've not seen that sort of strike at all in this game. That's what he's going to have to produce. Now, looking at the red beneath the pack to right corner, he's not got all that many options here. If he's straight on the green, he could be okay. Needs that cue ball to run.
Four. Five.
Well, he's quite low on this black now, and it's a big shot that he's going to have to take on. Black to right corner through the pack of reds. Is he on the red to right corner?
$12.
Well, I thought he may have gone into the pack with a little more pace from the black because he was absolutely perfect on it. All he would have had to do is just give all his attention into the pot. In playing it at the controlled pace he did, he was pretty much relying on landing perfect on that red, and he wasn't. It was a big stretch, thin cut, and he's missed it. Oh, and just to make things worse,
1.
Still feels a bit tense, even though obviously he's got a good lead and a little bit of luck here and there, fluke there, but He'll be wary of Trump, of course he will. He's played him twice, lost to him twice. He'll have observed the various performances from Judd Trump over the last few years. Can't afford to let him find his confidence. Well, speaking of confidence, what a big shot that was. My word. And that could be, potentially now, a match winner.
I just don't think Yize is really all that fazed by anything. You see him, he just sort of bounces round the table, almost like in his own little world. I don't think he's really that focused on the scoreline itself. It's just about continuing off from how he started this game. Just taking what's there. He never looks to get too emotionally involved in matches with Yize. It's a very soft focus he has out there in the arena. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Just wants to play the game.
Four.
Thank you. He just landed a little too low for comfort on that black to really get any sort of backspin on the cue ball to hold into the pack of reds, push a few more into play. He's looking at this red over the right side of the table. It's very thin to middle. Maybe looking at the double he was. Came round to see what he may leave should he miss it.
Yize 11.
Yeah, very often it's the red that you take on that's the most likely one. This one was still available. And that's a good pot from Trump. He's played this well, so another chance for the world number one.
Judd probably expects that Yize is going to get a good chance to win the match. But all Judd can do is control things when he's at the table. If you can make this break count, all of a sudden 4-2 feels like a pretty significant scoreline. Considering a few moments ago he was staring at 5-0 defeat. If he can just keep his place in this match, just keep Yize honest. Just then ask the question.
11.
Yeah, and then it can become about who the player is coming back. You know, it's Judd Trump. It's
12.
someone who, as I say, Yize is well aware of. But right now, it's the man at the table who's got to do the work here to put that pressure on. Scott Donaldson 4-1 against Barry Hawkins, 51-0 up on a break with a chance. He's the world number
17.
50, Scott Donaldson. That will be a massive win for him. And £30,000 guaranteed, of course.
18.
Yeah, and Scott had to withdraw from Xi'an due to medical reasons, so it's great to see him bounce back here. He lost out on potentially a lot of ranking points last week in China. He's come here this week and he's absolutely flying.
A
25.
bit hotter here than Perth, Scotland, which is where he's from. But the venue's very cool, as you'd expect.
$33. 34.
So the red at the top and to the left of this little cluster of four may be potable to left corner. If it isn't, Judd has got the option to play a cannon at this point. Yeah, just chose to drift past them, so that tells me this red does pot. And in potting it will open up another,
41.
and in potting that will open up the two, so this now really should be 4-2.
42.
Scott Donaldson over the line against Barry Hawkins, 5-1, first man into the last 16. What a great win for him, and the first seed is out.
$45. 46.
So, this black, he's just checking that on the scoreboard, this black and snooker's needed by Yize.
Still the outside chance of a century break for Judd Trump.
53.
I'm sure he'd love to clear the table, just keep his arm going, keep some table time.
$54. $58. 59.
Well, this might be the scenic route for this last red.
That's interesting what Judd Trump has just done there. He's played to leave himself low on that black, played to play the flare shot, possibly just sending a little message to his opponent, because there's no way he should have left himself low on that red.
And how well did he play it, by the way? Brilliant. Yeah, I remember during the COVID times they played the German Masters at Milton Keynes, and he was in the semi-finals of that tournament against Barry Hawkins. He was 5-1 down. He played an unbelievable shot on the green. It was an exhibition shot, and it just got him going.
74.
It was actually voted shot of the season.
76.
It just got him motivated, and he turned it round 165.
I think that was shot of my lifetime. I remember it. It
79.
defies logic, that shot.
Well, Barry was full of smiles, you know, sort of appreciating the value of it. But obviously, you know, it did have an effect. Trump said afterwards, actually, it got him going. And
83.
put it this way, Barry wasn't smiling at the end of it. He's not smiling now, by the way, because Donaldson's made a century to beat him 5-1. Yize is still in front here, but Trump's starting to enjoy himself
88.
as he mounts this challenge of coming back. Now then, can he knock this pink in? And then the black for the century.
Hold on to your hats for this one. It's going to be 4 cushions. Great pot. Needs the cue ball to run. And he's okay. So this black for the ton.
It will be if he can knock it in. Career century 993 and a big one. Not just to keep the match alive, but maybe just to get himself going. He was a little flat early in this match. That's more like Judd Trump. He trails 4-2. Here on table one, Wu Yize a 4-2, but Trump's just had a century. And what a break it was. So just to confirm, yeah, Gary Wilson through 5-2. He'll play the Mark Selby or Neil Robertson. That's 3-2 just about to go to Robertson. Selby's going to win the fifth frame. Yeah, the breaks in the Wilson-Gilbert match. Gilbert had the 2 centuries, including his 400th. But Gary Wilson 73, 90, 125 and 102 to finish. Some standard. So 4 centuries in that match.
All of a sudden things have got a little interesting here on table one. Judd Trump, of course, is still a long way behind in this match, but just the way he finished off that last break, took the artistic route in a lot of his shots. Unbelievable how he moves that cue ball around. Some of the balls he knocks in is just a joke. But I definitely think he chose to play it in that particular way, that break, to send a message to Wu Yize. Wu Yize potted a few outrageous balls himself early on in this match. Judd just reminding him that he is the governor of naughty snooker.
There's a lot of it about though today. Selby's now had a century against Robertson. There's very, very high quality stuff being played around this arena. Another attempt, but he's left this chance. Now, how's Wu Yize feeling, having been on the receiving end of that barrage in the last frame? Is he quite as cool as he was before? We might find out here. Well, there you go. He's missed that.
Not necessarily the sort of shot you want to be taking on when you've just sat out from a big break from Judd Trump. Not an easy starter, but you're not always going to get an easy starter against these top players. 4-2, I'm sure he still feels pretty comfortable, Wu Yize, but there will be just an air of caution. He'll know full well that this game is not over yet.
Touching ball.
So he's got the chance here, Wu Yize, to open these pack of reds slightly. He's just studying them. If it does that, he needs to make sure he gets a very good cue ball.
A reminder that tonight on this table, 8 o'clock local time, Ronnie O'Sullivan, who of course won the invitation event here in Riyadh last season, he'll be taking on Leipei Fan. He's the only player who's actually made it through from the very first round. What an evening in prospect for him. And the other members of the class of 92, John Higgins and Mark Williams, also in action. And the world champion, Karen Wilson.
Well, Judd needs some help from the green now, and he's got it. So this is a spot of bother for Yize. Brown is covering the loose red to the left, green covering the red to right. Got a slight path back to ball, red just above the black, the right of the 3. If you can clip off that, just avoid the black. The path is going up to ball, but he needs a good cue ball again. Yeah, but he's caught it too thin and he's caught the black. But where's the red going? Oh, so big mistake. He was in trouble there with Yize, but he did have a path back to balk. Caught the red too thin now. What can Judd Trump do with that?
One.
It does just feel like there's been a shift, just in the respective sort of body language of the players. If you took the score strap off, you might think Trump was in front. Still actually in trouble, because he knows his next mistake could be his last shot, but he's starting to look more confident, and maybe starting to believe this could happen. Certainly if he wins this frame, then it's anyone's.
6. 7. 12. 13.
All of a sudden, Judd Trump has got a little bit more of an intense stare at the table. You can see the clogs are turning in his brain, just thinking, trying to make this count. He knows that this is a big moment. He can get back to 4-3 from absolutely nowhere, really.
19.
Yes, he
20.
felt like he was there for the taking at 4-0, but Yize has not put him away. And he has had chances. He said himself, actually, Trump, he does tend to start slowly in tournaments. Doesn't mean he doesn't win early round matches, but often
26.
his form sort of builds as the week goes on, which I guess is how you want to play, but got to get through the early rounds first.
He pretty much did that in Jian last week as well. Didn't really pull up any trees. Just played well enough, just got the job done. That's why I think come that final against Kyron, I for one thought his level might raise significantly, but Kyron Wilson did incredibly well, played so good to beat Judd last week.
32.
Get the impression from Judd as well is if he can turn this match around and win it, he'll be delighted, but he won't be all that bothered about the performance itself because, as you just said, Dave, playing his way into the events is more important to him, making sure that he hits form at the right time. You don't want to peak too early, but of course you run the risk of not even going deep in the event by going so far behind so early on, so it's a fine line. And he hasn't played well today, particularly before the interval. Those first 4 frames were very poor from Judd. The errors he made in those 4 frames, it'd be unlikely to see him make more all season.
$39.
Played that well. He was a little fortuitous to be on that black, but you take anything
46.
right now. Building a nice lead here, useful lead. Dominating the table. Feels that Yize right now is just rooted to his seat, watching on.
47.
It's turned into a very exciting contest, actually.
Well, he's probably a little bit closer than he would have liked here, Judd.
53.
Should be okay to just screw this back a fraction for the black and then drop the black in for the red beneath.
54.
Well, if he's not straight enough on it, he can just still run it through, play red to middle. He's done well there. He had to pot that black thick to straighten it up.
61.
Not allow the cue ball to run too wide.
Judd Trump, 61.
Well, that was pretty much frame ball for Judd Trump. But this is far from an easy table.
Yeah, it's a good lead. You'd like to have killed it off, but 61 in front. Possible 75 on.
If he plays thin off the red just beneath the black, tries to go back up to baulk that way, could put Judd in trouble, but needs to be careful he doesn't push a red on to left corner. Can now just thin off this one. Trying to use the brown as the covering ball, but he's put Judd under no real pressure here. Okay, he's got a good cue ball, but just has plenty of reds to go at.
Well, we have another winner, and it is a seed. Sean Murphy has beaten Yuan Shijun 5-2. So that's the third result, second top 16 player to make it through. Sean Murphy will play Ali Carter or Elliot Slessor. It was 4-0 there to Slessor. It's 4-2, and like this match, Carter coming back into it is in front of the next as well. So maybe that could turn around as well. We'll let you know.
It's a very risky red that Yize was looking at there by the black. Not only would he have been bringing reds or firing reds everywhere, there was a chance he could have made contact with the red that he's just taken there. Just needing to be patient here. Firmly in control of this frame. It's pretty much a ball away from being 4-3.
He walks away a little concerned here. Trump already 61 to the good, so it's one pot really, you feel, and it should be 4-3. Well, Judd Trump has dug in. The cue ball's run a bit here. Still would need to colour in. And with the blue, he'll need another red as well. But as I say, he's dug in and he's just found something.
6.
And 4-3, if this red goes in, it really is in the balance now. Yize has had chances, but
7.
Trump has started to dominate. Yize has not potted a ball in this frame. Of course, Trump had the century in the previous frame, so it's definitely turned around. He's playing better. Yize is not playing as well.
13.
And the full-scale comeback may be on, and who's to say we won't be sat here Saturday night. Judd
14.
Trump's got the trophy, the $500,000, and we look back and say, remember when he was 4-0 down and basically out in the first round.
And you just saying that, you can just see it happening, can't you? Because
21.
I can see the ticker tape already.
it's just what he does, isn't it? He just never knows when he's
22.
beat, this man. Still a very long way to go in this match, but you just get the feeling that it's starting to turn.
Yize is still
29.
framed from victory. It's one of those, isn't it? If it had been 3-3 and he'd gone 4-3, you know, he'd be feeling good, but it was 4-0 and it's 4-3. And it's Judd
30.
Trump feeling the better of the two right now. We saw yesterday a match, Matt Selt missed a ball with 11 reds on and conceded the match. He was 4-3 down to Pang Zhengzhou. In this sport, and it's very mentally challenging and very frustrating at times, but you have to retain that belief right to the end.
It's what makes him one of, if not the best player in the world. At this
42.
moment, Judd Trump, our world number one, he will fight to the death. And all of a sudden, they're going in off lampshades.
44.
Pot this then.
So another frame that's been dominated by Judd Trump. He's won 3 on the spin. Judd Trump not out of this yet, not by a long way. This is anybody's. It's a bit of a thriller. Yize leads 4-3. Judd Trump on the comeback trail here in Riyadh at the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters. He was 4-0 down. He looked down and out, frankly. He was really struggling before the interval, but he's found something since. He's had a century, dominated frame 7, so he trails by just 1, and Yize still needs 1 to book his place in the last 16. Mark Selby has just levelled up, meanwhile 3-3 with Neil Robertson from 3-1 down. And Ali Carter made a century in the 7th frame. He was 4-0 down to Elliot Slessor. It's now 4-3. Jack Lazowski 3-2 up on Jack Jones. Mark Allen in big trouble, 4-1 down to Xiao Gudong. Yeah, this is a Robertson-Selby match. Robertson's had 2 centuries, and now Mark Selby's also had 2. 3-3.
Brilliant, isn't it? The standard is so good so far today. There's just tons flying in all over the place. Yize won't care how he gets over the line in this game, whether it be a ton or a scrap to the line. It's just about getting the job done now. You've seen this mini comeback from Judd Trump. He'll be feeling pretty anxious about things. Not just because he's let Judd Trump in a few times and gifted him a few opportunities. Judd Trump has started to play quite well.
Foul and a miss for Judd Trump. Yeah, Judd. Thank you.
Well, that was a chance. We are delighted to see him miss it, but a lot of this is on him now. And again, we're seeing, aren't we, how intervals can affect things. I think if there hadn't been an interval, it would have been 5-0, but gave Trump that 15 minutes. As I mentioned, his brother Jack is here as well. They would have had a chat for sure.
Probably a very stern chat at 4-0. That was the worst possible start for Judd Trump, but all of a sudden things, his sense are starting to turn.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't easy, but they were going in, weren't they? First few frames. He was potting all of those, and now they're not going in.
One.
Well, as that cue ball got there, it's very tight. Can he pot this pink to right middle?
Just, it would seem. You can tell a lot from a snooker player's walk, and it was a very purposeful walk around, wasn't it? He wasn't a trudge. He knew he was just about on it.
7.
Yeah, and if he wasn't on it, you could guarantee he'd pretty much be looking elsewhere but the table. The fact that he walked around the table briskly with his eyes focused on it told us everything we needed to know. Not a great scoring chance just yet. The black is firmly caged in for the time being, as is the pink. By landing low on this black, he will be able to bring the reds away, but he may have landed a little straight. And if he is straight, you can only really play on screw off the cushion for the red to middle, or the red just above the 3 to right corner. Now I'd love to be high on this red, so we can leave that low angle on the black.
21.
So key little shot. If you can just push the 2 reds north of the black away, you'll open this frame up.
Well, this is table 2, where Zhao Guodong has a chance to beat Mark Allen, as you can see. He's going to need pink and black, but what a shot on the blue.
29.
So Mark Allen, of course, was replaced by Trump as world number 1 after Xian, was hoping to get that status back here. Looks like he's about to be knocked out in his first match, the last 32 round.
How well has he played that blue around the angles, by the way?
30.
Yeah, another very dangerous player. You know, there's so many now on tour. Strength in depth has never been stronger. Zhao Guodong with the black for victory. And a big victory. Mark Allen out. 5-1, and Zhao Guodong progresses. And he's going to play Scott Donaldson,
55.
of course, another upset winner earlier over Barry Hawkins.
$36.
Well, that's okay. He's on this red to right corner.
41.
Can screw off the red potentially, or play the lower one, the more difficult one.
Well, we've had another victory. Elliot Slesser has beaten Ali Carter, another member of the top 16 out. It was 4-0 He's won 5-3. Carter made a century in frame 7, so credit to Slessor. He finished off there in one visit. 5-3, another upset. So Mark Allen, Barry Hawkins, Ali Carter, all out, seeded players. Sean Murphy and Gary Wilson have survived.
$49. 55.
Just look at the momentum swing this match has taken. It's all Judd Trump now.
56.
But he'd very much like that one back. He was looking to land higher up than this on the pink. Then he could have slightly disturbed the 4 reds beneath it. You see, it's only 60 points in front. Still 75 remaining. Oh, what an effort this is. Oh, dear me, what an effort that was. He deserves to be on one. He's got red to middle.
62.
He needs it in one more colour. Look at the arc he gets on the cue ball here. Brilliant shot. And in goes that red. He wants 63. The cue ball to just pull up, and it has done. He's perfect.
Unbelievable. What a player. And he's found it. He's found it from somewhere. If you weren't with us earlier, I can tell you this is night and day. The first 4 frames, he looked like an imposter, frankly. But he didn't give up.
69.
He's dug in, and he's improved as the match has gone on. And we're going the distance. But he's not only winning these frames, he's dominating them, isn't he? Yize is just not getting in. Did have a chance at the start of the frame, a long red, it stayed out.
$76. 77.
Well, last 3 frames, that's including this one, Yize has potted 1 ball.
Chance to bring off the safe red as well
82.
now. Keep his hopes alive of making a 2nd century.
$83.
It's been sheer willpower to somehow find this form.
$89.
So 89 the break, 4-4 the score. Judd Trump has won 4 on the spin. He's favourite now, you've got to think, to get this one. We'll see, though, the decider coming up. High drama here at the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters. Judd Trump, the world number 1, looked down and out. 4-0 down at the interval he was to Yize. He's turned it round with some big breaks, some great shot making. 4-4. This is the decider to see who goes through as the last 16. Already in this session, seeded players to lose: Barry Hawkins, Ali Carter and Mark Allen. Sean Murphy and Gary Wilson are through. Jack Lazowski 4-2 up against Jack Jones. Of course, Jones is the top 16 player there. The winner will play the winner of this match. And it's 3-3, Mark Selby and Neil Robertson in the other match.
And the worst possible break-off for Yize. The exact thing he didn't want to do early on in this deciding frame was give Judd Trump an easy starter. Well, it's tight as to whether Judd can get through to the brown. He'd love to be able to get into the pack, but may not can just see enough of it. Well, he thinks he can. Yeah, he could. The red just above the black is okay.
Five. Six.
Well, it was a good pot on the black because he was a lot thinner than he intended to be, but it made it more difficult to really make any sort of impact on moving those reds.
Judd 13.
Feels Yize has been very short of table time in the back half of this match. Barely made an impact on the last 3 frames. Did have a chance in the 5th, actually. You never know, though. The psychology does change sometimes when a player's been 4-0 down, because at 4-4 it's the first chance they have to actually win. Before that, they're just chasing. But Trump is quite a big favourite, you feel, in this decider. Yeah, he's just found it, hasn't he? Slightly lost the white here, but it was a great pot.
He's left the arena a couple of times throughout this match, Judd Trump, particularly after the interval. I just wonder if he kept an eye on the scoreboards as you walk through the players' lounge, saw that his world number 1 partner, Mark Allen, was trailing over on table 2 and possibly took a little bit of inspiration from seeing that result. Thought, come on, I've got to dig deep here, try and turn this one around. Give myself a good cushion at the top of the rankings. Because this has certainly been an inspired performance from Judd, wherever it's come from.
It's not going to matter to him, though, is it, if he loses? You know, he won't take any comfort from the good comeback. He wants the victory.
Now Judd has a chance at this long red to right corner. He doesn't turn down much. And that's why.
Well, that's beautiful. In the middle of the pocket. Nicely weighted. Got his eye in for the kill.
Mental strength it must take to be able to dig deep and find something like this when, after the first 4 frames, he may have been thinking it's going to be a very short-lived trip to Saudi Arabia, and all of a sudden he's absolutely plumbing the balls to win the match. How do you find it?
That's it. I think what's impressive is, because it's so easy to get on your own case, you know, and get down in the dumps, but he's actually used the opposite energy. You know, he's inspired himself to come back. He's dug deep into those mental reserves. And what a chance now to get this one.
17.
And it will be some victory. And as I say, you will not be surprised if we flash forward to Saturday night and there he is with the lovely trophy. And indeed the lovely check.
The only thing he'll consider is he will have to play better,
24.
whoever he plays. You can't go 4-0 down in a match and keep coming out on top. It's just impossible. The law of averages would
25.
suggest that eventually you're going to lose one. But the fact that he's got a chance to still be in the event going forward, you would naturally expect his level to rise. I'm sure his levels of confidence will rise
32.
if he wins this game.
$33.
Yize played really well. He took the game to trump early on. Now he's hoping for a late twist. It'll have to come soon.
$39. 40.
So one loose red at the back of the pack to this corner there, you can see. And as he pots it, he may open up one to right corner, right through the middle of them. I'm not sure if it does go, but
47.
we'll just have a little look at that now. Right through the middle of the pack. Once he pots this one, either way, this red and one more black will be snookers required.
48.
Yeah, it's been very impressive the way he's turned this round. This black, Yize needs a snooker. Judd Trump not in the mood for going home. He's not got the cannon there, but as I say, Yize does need a snooker.
55.
Well, he's played that quite tentatively. He wanted to make contact with the left-hand red, and in the end he got nowhere near it, just possibly putting all his focus on potting the black. I don't blame him.
Judd Trump, 55.
Well, he's in a strong position. I can tell you Neil Robertson's edged 4-3 up on Mark Selby. Still 4-2 Jack Lazowski, Jack Jones. The other matches ongoing. It's a day where things have just moved up a level. The top 16 coming in. All the pressure of the ranking point situation. It's called a few out, but also they're playing players who've had matches under their belt, who are feeling confident. Judd Trump will be feeling very confident after that one. What a pot to effectively get it won. So a stunning turnaround here from the world number one. As I say, in no mood to leave Riyadh yet.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, this performance from Judd Trump. From 4-0 down, he's found something that I've got no idea where it's come from. He looked down and out. Some of the balls he was missing, he just looked completely out of sorts, completely flat. He's looking far from flat now. He'll be absolutely buzzing with himself.
And very dangerous now that he's got over this opening hurdle. And he's proved a point
50.
to everyone here that he can dig deep. You got to feel for Yize. He did play good stuff earlier on. He's been largely shut out, really, last few frames, as Judd Trump has found the sort of snooker that he's been producing in recent times. Remember, he's won already the Shanghai Masters this season, and in Xi'an he was runner-up, and he's going to be through to the last 16 here in Saudi Arabia. My word, he had to dig deep. He was banging trouble trailing 4-0, but he's turned it round in style. He's still standing in Riyadh. He's beaten Yize 5-4.
What a difference a mid-session interval can make. 4-0 down he was, had to win, 5 on the bounce to win it. That was remarkable.
Incredible performance, I must say. I mean, at 4-0 down, just the way Yize was playing, you knew it had to take a special performance from Judd Trump to come back But that's exactly what great champions do. They never give up. And that's the difference between playing a best-of-7 and a best-of-9. The interval can sometimes change the whole dynamics of a match. A player can regroup for the 15 minutes, have a chat. I don't know what he said to himself. Or I don't know what his brother might have said to himself.
Exactly.
You know,
Let's find
he
out.
went out there, he was a completely different player. And once he got on a little run and made some good breaks along the way, he just grew in stature, grew in confidence.
Come on in, Judd.
And, yeah, just saying, what happened at the interval? What did you say to yourself?
I was looking at flights home. I was on Sky. I was on Sky. I swear. Yeah.
Actually?
I was, yeah.
Any good deals?
So it was expensive as well. So I knew I had to win after that.
Mate, that was remarkable. I mean, 5 frames on the bounce, you have to win in order to get the match win, and you've done it.
Yeah, I'm over the moon because the table was playing very strange at the start. I think the ball was flinging off everywhere as if it was the balls had been polished or something like that. It was very, very strange. I can normally tell when I miss, and there's a lot of times I thought I hit it okay and it was just going nowhere near. So it was just about trying to find some momentum and some belief because I had none in the first 4. I knew if I got to 4-2, I started to believe then because I got my scoring back and I wasn't missing easy balls. I felt like my safety was very, very good. He barely had a chance, to be fair, and it was just about being clinical. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with that.
Do you think mentality is a side of your game that gets underrated? Because to sit there 4-0 down and genuinely believe that you're going to do it. This isn't the first time this has happened, by the way. People talk about, let's say, your Selby's. You don't want to have them in your rearview mirror. Actually, I chuck you in that mix as well now.
Yeah, it's obviously pleasing in the way I done it because it wasn't like he was missing all over the shop. He really... He had a couple of long balls that he was probably getting, but other than that, it wasn't as if he was getting in and missing blacks off the spots or anything like that. I was just clinical, and then when I got back to 4-2, 4-3, I really did believe that I was going to win.
I think those first couple of frames after the interval, just to put a little bit of doubt in his mind, but also to give you that little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence that you're capable of reeling off those frames very, very quickly with big breaks as well.
Yeah, I knew I was playing well coming into this, and I was playing well on the practice table, but when I went out there, it was just very strange. It happens now and again. I think with my cue action, it didn't suit me because I always hit the ball with a little bit aside. It's just my natural cue action. And when you've got super, super reactive tables, I'm probably the worst person to play on it because I have to aim to miss. I was aiming to miss for the last 5 frames because I was aiming to hit everything thick, so that it would go in the pocket rather than everything was missing thin before. So it took a lot of adjustment, but yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. That was one of my best wins, just in the manner and digging in and my self-belief.
It also now puts you world number 1 standalone because you were tied with Mark Allen. Mark Allen unfortunately fell out of the tournament, which means now you get the 30,000. So you're now over $1 million over 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think obviously this is a big event, and I really didn't want to go home in the first round, especially in the manner of being 4-0 down. You come to this is a big event, so I think I can hold my head high for whatever happens to the rest of the event now.
What a confidence booster as well, isn't it? To be able to pull a match like that out of the bag. You thought you were going home with Skyscatter, now you're back into it, and like everything to play for now,
Yeah, I think when you get into these big events, and this does feel like a big event now, just even being stood backstage, it does feel like there's a bit of extra something. You just don't want to be going home in that first round. So I was disappointed at 4-0, but happy with the turnaround.
So a bit of extra something for you personally. You play the winner of the 2 Jacks, Jack Jones, Jack Lazowski. Jack Lazowski's currently leading at 4-2. We've got shots live here. We've currently got who's at the table. Jack Jones is at the table, leading it 61-26. This is going to be a very, very important frame for Jack Jones to get across the line here. What would it mean to you to play your very good friend in Lazowski?
I think there's been a couple of times recently we were supposed to meet. I think last tournament he lost 5-4 against Jack Jones, actually.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of leaning towards it's going to happen at some point. I think he's been kind of in the doldrums for a little bit, Jack, and I know that he's worked a bit harder this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to get the results.
Do you find it hard playing someone like that you're pretty close to on tour, that is a mate? It's a different sort of psychology, is it?
To be fair, I don't. I'm quite evil in that. Yeah. I just want to win so badly. I think a couple of the other players are maybe quite friendly, but I just want to win more than anyone else.
Okay.
And just a word, obviously, we're seeing Jack now play that shot there. What for you is missing in his game that would get him across the line and get him that first ranking title? Because all the ingredients seem to be there.
I think his self-belief is just because when you go for 13, 14 seasons without winning a title, it gets tough. You stop believing in yourself. And I think it just having that extra second or two on safeties, he still rushes the odd one and messes up. Whereas if you take Kyron, I think they grew up together. They were the same kind of standard. Kyron takes the extra second every time and nails you. So I hope Jack will realise that and learn that because he is such a talent and he's great for the game. But the longer it goes on, the more difficult it becomes. So let's hope it's not against me.
Well said, Judd. And what a match it would be between you two. And just to bring you right up to date in that one, it is still Jack Jones 62, Jack Lisowski 28. So that one continues to roll. Well, Judd, we'll let you give the mic to Ali. Thank you very much for your time. Massive congratulations. And you can stay off Skyscanner for a little while, but we can bring you up to date.